Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird and wonderful world, and welcome back to day 12 of Sparkestember, where we're going to go in outer space. And I find it interesting that they go in outer space in this album, but years later, in another song, Ron writes there's no such thing as aliens, no such thing as aliens, and they should know because they've been in outer space. Well, I think they're from outer space, and they're the only ones that are from outer space to come down here and share their unique style and thoughts with us. That's a joke, but you get what I'm talking about. I find it's interesting that they they go to outer space and then years later they write that song. But anyway, the cool let's get into some cool places here. Now, sometimes when I'm doing these listens, the score will surprise me because when I go and listen to it and I'm writing down my scores, uh, you can see that I put it on a separate sheet of paper and these are my musings. And you see the CCR there of when I was going through disc two of the CCR, and then some previous albums that these are my thoughts. These are my pretty much my initial thoughts, and then but once they're in the book, they're solid. And when I was listening to Cool Places, okay, I for some reason I forgotten what score I had given it. I thought, yeah, for sure I had given that a 10 out of 10. But no, apparently I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 last time. Well, of course, I'm going to bump it to a 10 because that's what I thought it was going to be. I said, that's not going to change. But but it actually did because it went to a 10. Of course, popularity. I loved it from the get go. Praying for a party. Yeah, for certain. If you know me, okay, for obvious reasons, and I find it just a little too repetitious. I guess that's the idea with some of those songs with them. But when they're doing repetition for repetition's sake and not having a cool angle behind it of why the repetition is cool, so, which I will get into with later albums, especially Little Beethoven. That the repetition in that is very worth it. All you ever think about is sex. Of course, that has to be a 10 out of 10. Please, baby, please. Yeah, that didn't budge. That didn't budge. It's not a good song for. I'm not crazy for it as much. It's not bad, but it's not. It's not good. um, but Rockin' Girls went up to a very good, from going to not bad to very good. It went up a whole point. I wish I looked a little better. Of course, stays the same. Lucky me, lucky you. Got a couple of extra little points. A fun bunch of guys from outer space went up point 0.5, to a 9. Even Dance God Damn It, I gave that a tiny bit extra points, but gave it whoops, which gives it a respectable and and oh no, that's back. I just went back to the previous page. There we go. Sorry, which gives it a 9.260 out of 9. Yeah, well, it was 9 before. But yeah, it's cool that all these albums are improving little by little, and they do get better and better. I do want to talk more in future videos about Sparks. I want to talk about their covers. I want to talk about their videos. I want to talk about their yeah. So like I said, this month is all dedicated to Sparks. I have errands and stuff to do this afternoon, but later on in the afternoon, I do want to make another video, inspired by something that Scott Lade from the Prague Corner had done in the last couple of days, and I want to give him a lot of props. There's another couple of YouTube channels I do want to give some shout outs to later on in that video, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Scott Lade had a great topic that I really wanted to expand upon and extrapolate. And yeah, I think he has some really cool stuff. So stay tuned for our next episode of Sparkestember for day 13, which is tomorrow, for pulling rabbits out of a hat, which of course you see I do own, and we'll be getting into that. Um, Again with this one, there's nothing in the bonus tracks that I need to review, so I can just concentrate on just the album itself, the 11 tracks. All right, if you are thinking about subscribing to my channel, go watch other episodes first. I want you to enjoy my channel before you consider subscribing. It just does us all a favor all around. I want to make sure that you're happy and comfortable here. Absolutely, and everyone is welcome unless you're a meanie and then you're not welcome anymore. But everybody is welcome. I don't care if you're from outer space. I'm like Captain Kirk. You can be green skinned and I'll still find you interesting and probably, yeah, you know all that. All right, I am gone. But don't be afraid to hit that like button, of course, because I really appreciate those. And leave me comments. I'm not always the best at getting back to comments. YouTube doesn't help at all, but I love hearing from you. I try to, at least if I can try to give you a channel heart, then everything is all great and good. But I want to hear from you, and I'll do my best to reply. And okay, I am done. Everybody, please be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side, and hopefully some more of these episodes. You should be listening to each of these albums as I review them. But anyway, everybody have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.